Sabah everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today I want to share with you guys my first 10 things to do on your brand new OnePlus 7 Pro once you get it right out of the box. So as soon as you turn it on and you set up your account, what are the first 10 things you should do on your brand new OnePlus 7, OnePlus 7 Pro, or even if you're picking up the OnePlus 7 Pro 5G. This is TK, let's check it out. Starting off from the beginning, the essentials that I'm doing for you guys today will always be after you powered on the device and gone through the setup process and have activated your Google account. So you have to have a Google account installed in here, and that's basically where my recommendations will come right after that. So the first thing we want to do obviously is setting it up. Main thing you want to do is go into utilities and turn on OnePlus Switch. Now, the OnePlus Switch, as you know, is their basically data migration and settings migration application, and it works directly with either an iPhone. So here it is. This is a new phone, and it's transferring data, and it'll tell us, do you want to transfer from another OnePlus device, an iPhone, or any other Android devices. So it will work and will transfer all your information. So your pictures, your text messages, your call logs. It'll transfer application as well, but it will not transfer data. That's not part of this transition, as we do require to have root for that, and this is by default not a rooted device. So main thing you want to do, again, turn on OnePlus Switch, transfer your data, and make sure all of your data and your settings are transferred. And if you're running an old OnePlus to the new one, it will also transfer settings as far as your launcher settings as well, if you're using the stock launcher. Number 2 on the list essentially is the display. The display is one of the biggest selling points on this device, and the fact is we're running a higher refresh rate display as well as a higher quality display, meaning we're looking at a QHD display that also supports 90 Hz. Now, out of the box, the device is running on an auto switch, which means by default, it'll switch between QHD and Full HD Plus to be able to save you battery and give you the best, longest battery experience. So what I like to do for me, I want to be able to run it at full potential. This is a 4,000 milliamp battery. I should be able to get a good, solid day, even with QHD Plus. So for me, I like to switch it to QHD Plus. If you want to keep it on auto switch, that's perfectly fine. Or if you want to reduce it to Full HD Plus, you can actually get pretty much almost like an extra hour of screen on time, because that will optimize the battery and the display so that you can have the longest battery. The next thing we want to talk about is the screen refresh rate. By default, out of the box, it does come with 60 Hz and it does support 90 Hz. So you do want to be able to turn that on to 90 Hz if you want to be able to enjoy that full refresh rate, the full potential of the display. So those things are a couple of things that you want to be aware of when it does come to actually, getting the full potential of the display, the brand new 6.67 QHD Fluid AMOLED display. Next on the list, as you probably already saw, is the dark UI mode. Essentially, is darkening the UI on the display so that we can actually get basically just better battery life, if anything else. But it's also, for me, more of an aesthetic thing. So you go under display, and then we're going to go down all the way down to theme. By default, it does come as colorful, so this will be the color scheme that we get here. And essentially, it's a combination of whites and different color accents that we can add. You can turn on light, which is, again, will be just white, and you don't have any issues there. But the dark mode is definitely one of the best ones, and it just looks ever so nicely on the display. And once you turn it on, it just needs a few seconds to activate, and then you can go in there and you can actually go in there and customize the accent color. It does default come by blue. I turned it on to a little bit more of a teal. I'm not sure if you guys can correct me on that one. But again, you can even go green and click OK, give it a second. And then the accent colors will permeate throughout the display in the UI. You'll notice right there the word customization turned into green. So the next option we're talking about today is for gamers. As you know, the OnePlus devices have had gaming mode and gaming mode support for some time. One of the really new cool things with the OnePlus 7 Pro is that we now have the option to go to Fanatic mode. It's an extra layer of options to be able to go in. Let's go ahead and turn on gaming mode. And what it enables us to do essentially is to just have even more of a customization on it. So if I turn on optimizations here, it'll basically block all notification, all calls, restrict background data to boost the game, as well as disable a secondary SIM if you are using it. And if I say got it, it'll do a little bit of animation and it'll turn it on, optimizes the GPU, releases more RAM for the game, and of course make sure that the device runs in optimum condition to play those games. And what's really cool about it is you can switch between gaming mode and standard gaming mode and Fanatic mode right here in the notification panel, and you can of course exit it if you'd like to just basically turn off gaming mode altogether, or you can go back in here in the notification shade. So I'm pretty sure you guys have noticed is I'm not using the navigation bar that normally comes with our device. So if we go under buttons and gestures, we have the option of choosing the navigation style. So the navigation bar by default is the one that's turned on when you take it out of the box. So you have the back, home, and recents application. All of those things are normal. You have the ability of turning on Android Pie style recents application by using just the gestures here. So we have the back and gestures, and if I go all the way up, it's supposed to basically take us into the app drawer, but it's customized a little bit to work with Android, the way Oxygen OS presents it to us. But the best part that I like to use is the full gestures that's based directly into what we get here with Android. And this is basically Oxygen OS version of it. So swiping from the left takes me back. Of course, I can go back in here, quick toggles, all of those things, and swiping from the right just straight up takes me in here. But the really cool thing is the ability basically is just swiping. So you can go in here, swipe between application, and then swipe back. Very nice, very easy, and you can customize them to whichever way you'd like. I like gestures because it just gives me the full display as the best options that I can get on this device. Now moving on to sound, as you know, the OnePlus 7 Pro has stereo speakers. It marries the top earpiece as well as the bottom firing speaker, the right one here, to give us stereo speakers on this device, which is really, really nice. One way to customize that experience is to go into the settings, go into sound, and then go into Dolby Atmos. Now this gives us the ability of customizing not only the audio experience for movies, for music, but it just, you can keep it in default mode, which essentially is really nice, just to overall let it auto recognize what you're doing. But if you're getting music, if you listen to a lot of music, you want to be able to turn it on here. And of course, when you have headphones plugged in, you'll have even more options to turn on into the EQ setup, which is really, really functional, just the overall experience. They did a really good job. And we have additional settings here for for headphones whenever you're using them. So, basically speaker, caller ID, very, very nice. A lot of options have been basically put into Oxygen OS, and now with Dolby Atmos, we have better audio. The next thing we're going to talk about is this little feature right there, where it gives us the ability of basically customizing the animation that we get whenever we're unlocking our device. So I'll go ahead and take us directly into the setting. It is built in directly within the security area, so you have to go into fingerprints within that, and then you'll notice that there's animation here. So by default, it actually comes out of the box with this one. This is called the Cosmos, and then we have the ripple effect, which makes it a bit more of a ripple, like as if you just actually kind of push directly into the display. We have the stripe one, and then of course we have none if you don't want to have that. I personally like to use the stripe one. It just looks more unique. And of course you can just save it, close, and then it'll turn on. And then of course you have to actually hit save for it to kick in. That would be helpful, right? So you could see it right there. But again, I like to keep it on stripe. I'll go ahead and hit save, and it's just definitely very unique, and I hope we'll have more options down the road. So the next feature I want you guys to pay attention to is something that you need to be aware of as far as if you're worried or if you're concerned as far as data usage. Oxygen OS does include a service called a server functionality here that basically gives us the ability of using a data saving action. So that when you turn this on, you're able to restrict data or background data access to specific applications that are consuming too much power or too much data, and you're not actually using them. So they're sitting in the background and you're not being used, and you notice that they keep showing up on your battery consumption and the battery is being affected. You can definitely use Data Saver to restrict background access to it so that it does not access the internet whenever you're not in the application. It's a very nice little feature, and it's built into Oxygen OS. We also have a couple of additional options here, obviously, to turn on OTG, as well as the built-in screen recorder. So that's something you guys should definitely play with. It is very, very functional and very nice and very easy to use. And once you're done recording and you can customize the different aspects of what you want to do with it, you can actually go into the gallery application and use the built-in video editor to edit those videos that you just created. Two more things left to go, and the next one is going to be something that will help us actually detach from our phone, and that's called Zen Mode. Now, it does require, okay, we'll go ahead and give it a second to update, but Zen Mode essentially is a way for us to get a 20-minute break from using our phone, and it really means a 20-minute break. And what it means by that essentially is that it actually disables functionalities that you normally would be able to do. So let's go ahead and open it up. And it essentially says, take a 20-minute break and stop, relax, and clear. The main thing you want to be aware of is once you start it on, you can't cancel this mode. You cannot get out of it. Incoming calls will be temporarily muted. You may still receive phone calls to make emergency calls. That's obviously not going to stop the phone. And all apps will be temporarily locked except for the camera. So again, it's intended to basically try to give you a 20-minute break. It's very hard, and I explain that if once you do this section, you actually have to take 20 minutes away from your phone. So if you feel like you're being too much, you're spending too much time on your display, you want to be able to take a break, that's a great way. Or if you know a friend or if you want to play a prank on them, I think this is also a nice thing to do. Just put it on, leave it, and then walk away for 20 minutes. Very nice. I'm not going to activate it this time, but it's definitely nice to have. The last thing I want to share with you guys is something that most of us will probably wonder is we do have a 48 megapixel sensor that's sitting in the back of our display. But unfortunately, out of the box, when you're going into the actual picture settings and you go into the settings options, you're getting different modes. Obviously, you have the ultra wide correction. You should turn that on. You should turn on HDR manual control so that you actually can turn on HDR or off whenever you want it. And in Spark Content Detection, it's their AI, their new AI mode, but it does not give us the ability of basically customizing it or going to that 48 megapixel sensor. The only way to do that would be to go directly. We have to go into Pro mode. Let's go swipe one more time. We go into Pro mode, and you'll notice there's an option for JPEG here. But the second option is JPEG at 48 megapixels. So this is the only way for us to activate this, and it is built into the Pro mode. We obviously do have RAW support, but if you don't do that, by default, your pictures are not going to be at the full sensor size. So this is one way to experiment and try to take really big pictures. So if you want to be able to print them out, like say a canvas or big print pieces, I think this is the best way. And of course, you can dial in your experience down to the level that you want with the Pro mode options that you have in here. And of course, you can always go back to the standard mode and take your regular great pictures with either the front facing or the back facing camera on this brand new device. The OnePlus 7 Pro has a lot more options that I didn't even touch on right now. But for the most part, these are the top 10 things that you should do once you get the device so that you have a good feel of what you can do with this device. The display settings, the fingerprint settings, of course, as well as the gaming mode, the audio mode, and all of those things that I'm sharing with you guys today are things that will basically be more of quick shortcuts to know what to do, and you can basically customize it to the way you like. Now I do have a secondary launcher here. This is Nova Prime, my personal preference as far as a launcher. There's nothing wrong with the built-in launcher with Oxygen OS. It's just that this actually brings over my existing setup, my gestures, and all of the stuff from one device to the other. Now, OnePlus Switch will transfer Nova Prime and will transfer your Nova launcher if you have it on your old device. As far as the customizations within Nova, you need to just do an export directly within your old device, email it to yourself, and then just import it directly into the new Nova that you have on your new device. And all of the settings, all the folders, all the customizations, the gestures just automatically show up. That's the beauty of it. Very easy, and it'll get you running, up and running very quickly. Let me know in the comments below, what are some of the other options or things that you like to do whenever you get a brand new device to customize it to your liking. This is TK. Like and subscribe as usual. Share with all your friends, especially if they're thinking of getting, let's say, a OnePlus 7, OnePlus 7 Pro, or even if they're getting the OnePlus 7 Pro 5G or a 6T. This will work on almost all of them with the exception of the one specific to the OnePlus 7 Pro. I'll see you guys in the next video.